Yo guys, welcome back to the channel, Plant Chatty. Today I'll be making a vegan curry using plant-based mince, which is soy mince essentially. I know you eat soy mince samosas that you buy by the puppy. So same thing, just in your curry guys, please. I prepped everything beforehand because you know what it looks like to chop onions, garlic, ginger, and to prep all the spices. Let's take a look at the spices. These are our spices that we have here. I've got a chicken stock cube, which is definitely vegan. Star aniseed, bay leaves, curry leaves, and coriander seeds. This is garlic and rosemary oil. That was just left over in the fridge, so I'm going to use it. This is cardamom, and the electricity just went off, but I'll keep on recording. This is allspice, cloves, as well as garlic and ginger. And then additional spices for the mince, that's barbecue spice. I'll usually use chicken spice. That's pepper, paprika, cayenne pepper. This is the curry spice that I'll be using. That's a mix of masala, raja spice, mother-in-law, all the traditional classic spices. And this is all the offcuts that I usually throw in the compost bin. Salt, willy. I'm gonna make rotis with this. That's potatoes. Very important is to toast all your dried spices except the stock. So we're going with the bay leaves, we're going with the aniseed, we're going with the coriander seeds, the allspice, as well as the cardamom. You want to toast this for about 2 to 5 minutes. As soon as you start smelling the aromatics, once your spices are toasted, you want to add.
So from this point on, I will be switching to voice over mode due to the fact that the previous set of mics that I had actually broken. I had to replace them, and luckily that didn't cost me anything. I replaced the mics. Now my tripod broke, so that's another thing to replace. But I will keep the content coming, probably at a little bit of a slower pace, but it will still be coming. As for the current video, I definitely have some origins of curry regarding the Cape Malay community.
And your ginger, and thus we have the holy trinity of cooking, I believe. You want to mix that in, and you can also...
The Cape Malay community is one of the oldest Muslim communities in South Africa, descended from enslaved people and laborers forcibly brought to the Cape by the Dutch East India Company, the VOC, from the 17th century onwards. Most trace their ancestry to Indonesia, Malaysia, Java, Sumatra, and other parts of Southeast Asia. From around 1652, the Dutch trafficked these people to the Cape to work on farms, in homes, in the service of an empire that saw them as property, not people. By the 19th century, the word Malay at the Cape had expanded to embrace the broad Muslim identity, a community unified by faith, by language, and by shared experience of oppression. The cultural heart became part of Boerkaap, the colorful hillside neighborhood above Cape Town, historically known as the Malay Quarter, where their food, their music, and their spirit took root and refused to be erased. These people were taken from lands with ancient sophisticated spice traditions, Indonesia, Java, India, cultures that had been cooking with complex spice blends for centuries before any European ship ever arrived on their shores. And when they were brought here, stripped from their freedom, their names, their languages, they held on to their spices. Turmeric, cumin, jeera, coriander, we know it as dhania, fennel, mustard seeds, ginger, cardamom or cardamom, cloves, bay leaves. These weren't just flavors, these were memory. These were home, these were resistance. Spices were precious, often scarce, so they were used with intention and care. And that careful, considered hand is exactly what gives Cape Malay curry its character, fragrant, aromatic, layered, but never simply fiery. The heat is gentle and complexity runs deep. These cooks couldn't always find the exact ingredients from home, so they adapted, they substituted, they made it work with what they had, because that is exactly what people of color have always had to do: adapt, survive, create something extraordinary from constrained circumstances. Just like Afrikaans evolved into its own language from forced contact and circumstances, Cape Malay curry became its own thing. Milder than many Indian curries, sweeter in some variants. And look, I'll be honest with you, don't come at me with sweet curry, asseblief. But undeniably aromatic, undeniably soulful, and completely its own. The recipe was never given to them, it was evolved by them.
Number 6.
Today, I'm making this curry vegan, and I think that matters in the context because this is a dish from the hands of people who had no power over their own bodies, their own labor, their own lives. To cook it while also refusing to participate in the exploitation of other beings feels right to me. It feels consistent. Oppression has many faces, and when you know what it looks like, when your cuisine was literally built on its back, you start seeing it everywhere. So today, this pot is an act of remembrance for the people who carried these spices across the ocean in chains, for the cooks who kept tradition alive in someone else's kitchen, and for every living being that deserves dignity. Enjoy this beautiful, amazing vegan mince curry with a side of roti.
Okay, sweet. So my niece is not fully vegan, but she does eat vegan with us. She's gonna do a little taste test of the curry and roti.
Yes, guys, I'm doing important this taste this.
I can hear the crunchiness of the roti.
So amazing.
Lovely. Okay, guys, so moment of truth. Maybe even smaller. The curry could be a little bit spicier, but it still has a kick. Otherwise, I highly recommend this meal. Until next time, guys. Peace.